Hello, I'm Pastor Heath. Welcome to today's devotion. I'm reading from Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. And here's what it says. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. Now, of course, the Apostle Paul begins with the wife, that she is to submit herself to her husband. But before we talk about the wife's submission, which is a wonderful and great honor to the Lord, let's first talk about the husband and what kind of a man he is to be. Husbands, it's a title of great honor. It means simply to be a man, a real man, a true man. It means to be a man in the way that man is intended to be, humbled and surrendered before God, a man who follows Jesus Christ. A husband is to be a real man, a man of God. Not a weak man, not a fearful man, not a prideful man, but God's man, who is born again, who has a strong and courageous spirit, and who knows how to humble himself before God. A husband is a man who is like Christ. Are you such a man, husband? Do you have such a relationship with Jesus? Are you born again and filled with the Spirit of God? That's what a husband is. Now, Paul says, husbands, love your wives. Now we read those words and immediately we probably start thinking of all the ways we demonstrate our love to our wives. And maybe you think about the gifts that you buy for your wife, or maybe how you provide for your wife. Maybe your love is demonstrated in the quality time that you share together. Or maybe you're thinking, hey, I've been married for 20 years now. Of course I love my wife. But whatever you think it means to love your wife, Paul now takes it to the highest heights and the deepest depths of what true love really is. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her, just as Christ loved the church. The love of Christ is a sacrificial love. The Bible teaches us that God the Son humbled himself and came down into our dark, miserable, sin-filled world. He became a man and he humbled himself even to the point of death. He also cared about others. Before he met his own needs, basic needs like eating, drinking, sleeping, before he met his own needs, he cared about the others who are around him, other people's needs. And of course, as Jesus teaches us, and as he did, he laid his own life down for us. That's a sacrificial love. Men, do we know that kind of love? Do you? Have you experienced that love for yourself? Have you known Christ, and has his love filled your life? How can you love anyone with the kind of love like Christ if you've never experienced it yourself? The man of God is filled with God's love, and he is able to learn to love as Christ loves. A husband humbles himself like Christ, and he cares more about his wife than himself. And yes, he is willing to die for his wife. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. God bless you.